If you ever thought, why do I only attract the worst men alive? Congratulations, you're my target audience. Because same, I used to think love just wasn't for me. Like I missed the distribution day of perfect boyfriends and everyone else got a healthy relationship and I got like only character development. But 7 years ago, something changed. It was my mindset, and I know it sounds so silly, but I mean, it worked, and somehow I ended up in the healthiest and the best relationship of my life. So this is my advice for you on how you can also manifest your dream boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm going to tell you what I actually changed and how you can do the same, because if I could do it, respectfully, so can you. So let's go. The first thing I did was make like several lists of my dream guy. Not just like the usual funny, tall, kind checklist. No, I went full FBI profiler meets teenage diary. I wrote down how he smiled, what jokes he'd tell, the sound of his laugh, the way he'd bring me the right brand of temp from the store without asking questions, you know. I visualized us walking through my city, holding hands, being like really cute, you know, like full on movie montage behavior. And I made these lists so that I deep down knew what I wanted. And with those informations, I then scripted and visualized. Okay, what is scripting and visualizing? Scripting is you journal as if you already have what you want, while you also go into full detail and, most importantly, feel very happy and grateful while doing it. Visualizing, on the other hand, is like visualizing, like making movies in your head, while, you guessed it, also feel the feelings. So you could name these two things techniques, but manifestation is not about techniques, it's about convincing your mind. But using those techniques is really helpful, especially in your beginning stages of manifestation. So yeah, during those lists, those scripts and the visualization things I did, I focused on feeling like I was already in love, okay? I even made a whole playlist just for visualizing. I had candlelit headphones on, you know, I was locked in the like main character energy 110%. I was basically building a man in my brain, like a cursed Build-A-Bear workshop, but with like extra delusion, and it worked out. I didn't know that yet, but now I know. And because I was fully committed, I added like a little aligned action too, you know. While shopping, I think, what would my non-existent boyfriend like? And I even started sleeping on just one side of the bed, like a taken woman in a Hallmark movie. Like I was crazy. I was low-key crazy. It sounds delusional, and maybe it is even delusional, but here's the thing. Your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. When you visualize something often enough and pair it with genuine emotion, your subconscious starts acting like it's already true, and that's when things begin to shift. You naturally become more confident and more magnetic, less desperate. You stop begging the universe and start living like it's already done. The key, though, is detail and belief. Because manifestation is directing your energy, it doesn't mean that you are daydreaming. It's not daydreaming. If you don't clearly know what you want, your brain will keep ordering emotionally unavailable hipsters, okay? And if deep down you're thinking, okay, I made this list, I wrote down all of the things I want my boyfriend to be, but I mean, guys like that, they don't exist. That's a problem. You've got to convince your mind that they do exist and that one of them is absolutely made for you. So let's go to step number 2. You cannot say all men are trash and then expect your dream man to just spawn in like a video game character. Your brain will literally go, I thought men like this don't exist, like you have to choose. So I had to confront my beliefs. What did I actually think about love, about men even, about relationships? What did my past teach me about relationship? Spoiler, it was not good. My daddy issues and like avoidant tendencies, I know it's embarrassing, but it is true, really made it kind of hard for me to believe in love. And also my ex-boyfriend showed me how bad it can actually get. So I wasn't really believing in good men. I had to convince my brain of the opposite. I had to convince myself that those past experiences are just that, experiences, and not rules of the universe. So I rewrote those beliefs. I did not believe them at first, but I wanted to. Because I know that beliefs and self-concept is, if not one, the biggest part of manifestation. So, the thought, men are trash, became, there are good men, I just haven't met mine yet. Okay? I never meet good men. became, I already know a good man and it's possible for me to have a perfect boyfriend. I then reminded myself of the good men I already know, like my close friends or even like the really good boyfriends of my girls, like my girlfriends. And I had to confront my self-concept also, of course, because your beliefs and your self-concept, those things go together hand in hand. Revisiting my self-concept felt a little cringe at first, but over time, my brain started believing it. And it also started believing like my new beliefs about men. Like slow emotional reprogramming via delusion. And that leads us to the next and honestly hardest part. This is the hardest step, but girl, is it worth it? If you don't think you're lovable, you keep dating people who prove you're right. Nobody can see your worth if you walk around, like broadcasting, I am a burden energy or I am a loser energy. People don't just hear what you say, they feel what you believe. It's like they can read your mind, like they're a villain in a comic book. They know, they feel that. They smell your insecurities miles away, and if deep down you think I'm not worth it, you will act like it. So I worked on that. When I started treating myself like I was the main character and not the random boyfriend I wanted to manifest, people started acting like I was one. I journaled things I loved about myself, like a lot, not just once, but I really did it on a regular basis. In the morning, night, or when I felt like it after meditating. I stopped roasting myself in my own head every 5 seconds and, I looked in the mirror and complimented myself out loud. Did I look insane? Yes. Did it work? Also yes. Self-love really changes your energy. It makes you act, speak, and move differently. You stop chasing affection and start attracting it. And I know when I first saw all of those videos or even read those texts about manifestation and how I can manifest a boyfriend, and when the person would say, you have to love yourself first, I was like, come on girl, that's like embarrassing. That's not what I want to hear right now. Like, give me the tea, how can I manifest? But that's so important. That's literally so important. If you don't love yourself, why would your boyfriend love you? Like, imagine trying to manifest true love when you won't even text yourself back emotionally. Fix that first. And just to be clear, this includes not entertaining men who treat you badly. Because your perfect, emotionally intelligent, amazing boyfriend of the future is not gonna show up and be like, wow, she accepts crumbs? Perfect, I'll bring the whole bakery. Like, why would he do that? You cannot manifest an angel while entertaining clowns. Pick a genre and choose wisely for real. Here's the next plot twist. You can't manifest love if your main vibe is desperation. You attract what you are and not what you want. This saying also goes, of course, for manifesting love. The universe can smell thirst. If your energy is, okay, I desperately need someone to make me happy, you keep manifesting half-assed relationship with people who almost love you, okay? Or, I don't know, who seem to be really cute, but then something bad happens. I had to learn that the thing I wanted wasn't a boyfriend. It was the feeling of being safe, loved, and happy. That's the real thing I was looking for. So instead of crying because I didn't have that yet, or that's what I thought, I started creating those feelings myself. Remember, you attract what you are, not what you want. So you already have to feel in love to attract love. So I made gratitude lists. I meditated a whole lot. I was romanticizing silly everyday stuff. I poured so much love into my friends and really cherished those types of love that I already had in my life. My best friends, my family, myself. I realized that there already is so much love around me. So to speak, I was love maxing. And I built a life that already felt full. And guess what? That's the frequency where real love happens, where the good boyfriends exist. You don't manifest love to escape loneliness. You become so peaceful being alone that real love finally has room to show up. And at some point I realized I don't need a boyfriend, I need to calm down. Which brings me to the next step. When you're out there chasing something with everything you've got, you're basically screaming at the universe like, hey, I don't have this thing yet. Did you know I don't have it yet? When will I get it? Oh my God, I'm so stressed. That's a lot of bad energy, man. It's like trying to pet a stray cat by sprinting at it full speed. When did that ever work out? You have to chill out, because if you don't trust the process, you're essentially telling the universe that you don't even believe in yourself. And that's like the worst thing you can do. You have to know, you have to be convinced it's coming. It is true for yourself. You have to know deep down in your bones that your perfect boyfriend, the one from the really detailed list, he doesn't only exist, he exists to be your boyfriend, and he will be your boyfriend. Just be delusional, for real, for real. You have to know it's coming. And once you truly believe it, you kind of stop caring. Because, I don't know, you've done so much work on yourself that your life already leveled up in so many ways, to be honest. If you really did the whole self-love, meditation, being happy thing, you will realize that having a boyfriend is kind of cool, but it's not necessary for you to feel loved anymore. And that's the key. Also, like we talked about earlier, you really have to love yourself on your own, because you got born alone and you will die alone. A boyfriend is low-key just an NPC character in your life. So you're the main character. So don't put your non-existent boyfriend on a pedestal, because this is desperation, and manifestation cannot work while in a desperate state. And I know, I really know, like self-love sounds so cliche. It's giving like those TJ Maxx pillows. Like, you have to love yourself, or those Pinterest pictures. I know. But if you actually dig into it, like really do the work on yourself, I say to you, and you have to believe me, you won't even be obsessed with the idea of a boyfriend anymore. I'm serious. I found my relationship when I genuinely stopped caring. I was just living my life, and I was loving myself so much, and I was never as happy as in that time, which is funny because I thought I'm going to be super happy when I have my boyfriend. And don't get me wrong, I'm super happy in general, like also with him. But in this phase of my life, like in this really spiritual time even, where I was thinking a lot about myself, where I was reflecting life and was genuinely putting a lot of my intention and attention on feeling love and spreading love, I was so happy. So I really didn't care about having a boyfriend anymore. Right now, I'm going to give you like a brief summary on all those steps and what you need to do to also manifest your dream boyfriend, because you can do it as well. So step 1, write your list. What is your dream boyfriend or girlfriend like? Be specific, okay? Write all of the details down. And if you feel doubt, step 2, revisit your limiting beliefs. Why am I convinced that every man is bad? Or why am I convinced that every relationship is kind of triggering or dangerous for me? Really go deep. And trust me, I don't like men as a concept, but this step is crucial. I, as you maybe can tell, had to revisit many beliefs about men in general, but now I'm happy that I did. And I'm still very critical of men in general. So, your subconscious mind has to be on your side here. Step 3, visualizing and scripting while feeling in love already, paired with aligned action. So, you have to act as if you already have it, not in a desperate way, but to attract it into your life. Then 4, self-concept. What makes you love yourself? What would someone love about you? Fall in love with yourself first to change your frequency, and be grateful. Which brings me to the next step. Raise your vibe in general. Be grateful for all of the platonic love that's already in your life, and go love and happiness maxing. And then trust it will happen eventually. And inevitably. Be so sure about that. You don't check if it already happened or whatever. Live in the moment and detach. It's not that important anyway, because you are the only person that can make you happy in the first place. So detach and trust. That's it. Once those steps are built in your subconscious mind, I'm telling you, it's not that hard anymore. I did it, and so you can do it as well. That's also important to add. Don't get jealous or even disgusted by other couples' happiness, okay? Because remember the step, acting as if. Why would you, as a person that is already in a loving relationship, hate some lovebirds holding hands in your local gym? Don't be that guy. Be cute. That's not giving I am in a relationship. That's signaling to the universe that you don't have it yet. So let me tell you, I could do it, so you can do it as well. Because girl, my ex-boyfriends and crushes came straight from hell. Believe me. Because I guess my self-concept was so low back in the days. How I met my boyfriend, to give like a little bit more details for you. I guess I really consciously manifested with all of those techniques that I told you about for like a month or like maybe 2 months. And I scripted most of the days in the beginning and visualized when it was sunny. I laid down in the sun like outside, and I changed my mindset because I was meditating a lot. Okay, I really changed my whole mindset. And because of that, I also got super chill and super positive about everything in general. And I was so happy already that I really, really didn't care about having a boyfriend anymore at some point, for real. At some point, I got tired of using all of those techniques, like those techniques where you consciously have to write something down or do like an act, that you wouldn't do normally. I got tired of that. And also, like, I didn't get tired of that because I got skeptical. No, because I really trusted the whole process. Because I got tired because at this point I watched so much content on manifesting that I was like, yeah, it's getting boring. And also, would a person in a relationship watch videos about manifesting her boyfriend? She would not. And that's when I got really convinced that he will come, and I really did not care when that would happen. And now, 7 whole years later, we're still together and happy as ever. If you take one thing from this, let it be this: you're really not bad at love. You've just been repeating a pattern, and you have to recognize that to help yourself, because patterns can be changed. Start small and say one kind thing to yourself. Write one delusional little journal entry every day and use those techniques that I told you about, and it will happen. Eventually it will happen, because you're going to stay consistent. Because one day you look back and think, wait, this actually worked. And when it does, please remember that you did it, that you changed your mindset. Remember me, remember this video and the FBI Love a Boyfriend list. Remember that you can manifest anything you want, okay? And I'm already super proud of you. Yeah, I hope this video helped you out a bit, and if it did, I would be really happy if you shared your experiences or even your thoughts on manifesting a SP or relationship in general in the comments. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.